Hello, welcome to Marketing Matters, the show where we explore all things marketing and uncover those things that matter for you and your success. I'm your host, Denise Millay, and my hope and mission is to bring marketing and technology to you in a way that's useful, without jargon, complexity, or confusion, so you can grow your business, expand your impact in the world, and build your best life. Today's episode is called Why Search Engines Matter. We'll pull apart the things you need to know about search engines like Google and how they impact your business. So let's get started. I want to share a quote with you from a gentleman named Mark Ostrovsky. He says that search engines are critically important for online businesses. And you can spend every penny you have on a website, but it will all be for nothing if nobody knows your site is there. Now, Mark Ostrovsky has been around the internet since its inception, and he's a venture capitalist, New York Times best-selling author. He wrote this book called Get Rich Click, The Ultimate Guide to Making Money Online. But he's also invested in a lot of today's very large internet companies and platforms, whether it be telecommunications or sales or all these platforms that were just in infancy when he was coming up. And he has made a fortune investing in those and being a forward thinker when it comes to tech and what's out there in the business world. So I want to share this with you because search engines are important to make sure that you get the most out of the investments you make in your technology and your marketing. So let's move on. So before we can talk about why your business can benefit from search engines, we need to make sure we all understand what a search engine is. There are two parts to a search engine. One is the database that the programs go out and search all the web pages and pull in information from all the website pages that are out on the internet. And then there's the search platform that users like you and I and our customers and potential clients put a question into, and then they want to get results back of places they can visit online to answer their questions or to search for a product or whatever it is they're going to do. So those two parts work together in tandem, and we as business owners have to understand that cycle so that we deliver the right kind of information that serves our customers. A web page, the database contains information about each page that it visits, okay? So there are certain keywords that you can put on a page that, because of the repetition of them or the fact that they're in a headline, they are important words that the programs will index or take note of. And then the title of each page and the address, the URL where it lives on the internet so people can link to it, and then the descriptions that get put on each page. There are also things you can do in the text to make certain sections of it more prominent than others so that Google will record those and notice them and hopefully give more credence to your information than someone else's to make sure it's more current and more helpful and useful. So all these things we'll talk about in the future about how to get your information the best way into the database. But just for now, so you know, these little bot programs go out and they just run continuously and pull information in from the internet, and it feeds this ginormous database that Google has. And so then the other piece is the search platform itself. The way that works is the user enters a question, and then the database goes, the program goes out and reads the database and says, well, here are the words they put in their question. Give me all the search results to show them, right? So then the platform delivers the search results. And what I'd like to do real quick is show you a sample of a search results page. So here is a page where I search for myself on the internet, and you'll see the first thing that comes up when I put Denise Millay in the search is welcome, my welcome page from my website, denisemillay.com. And you'll see there's a description here. I'm a founder and CEO. This all is prominently on my page. and my name is highlighted, etc. So what's important for you to know is if I put my name into Google a few years ago, I did not come up at the top of that page, okay? It was someone else who came up at the top of that page, another Denise Millay. So now, after the work I've done on my website for the last few years, I come up on the top of the page when I search for my name. That may seem simple, but it's something like you have to work at it to make sure you give all the right signals to the search engine program so that they pull in your information and they'll serve it up to their users when they ask a question. So, okay, let's move on. Now, another thing we need to be aware of is the vast exposure search engines can give you in your business. So let's dive into some facts here so you understand the scope of what we're talking about. Okay, market share. The top 5 search engines out there are: number 1 is Google, number 2 is Bing by Microsoft, Yahoo, believe it or not, is still considered a search engine. There's Baidu, which is a Chinese search engine. Yandex is Russian. And then there are a number of other smaller ones that I'll put in others. Now you see the difference here. This is Google. Google has 91% of the market share out there for searches. So 91% of people searching for things on the internet go to Google. Bing uh, comparatively only has 3% market share, and the rest all have 1%. Yahoo, Baidu, Yandex, and the others total up like 4 or 5 altogether. So if you look at this, where do you want to put your energy the most is in Google. So, and let me also say that Google makes the biggest investment in search, and they build their business around search. It's their primary way of making money, so that they put the most time and energy into it, and that can benefit you the most, at least from a return on your time kind of situation. Now, the size of search engine activity as a whole across the internet, Google gets 90,000 searches per second. 8.5 billion searches per day, okay? And then they have 91% of all searches out there. So there's not much left for the others. I mean, really, everyone is going to Google, and I can't stress that enough to you. If you have to make a choice of where to put your energy or someone's giving you advice, I would say you put it into Google. You can always expand to the others and look for other platforms to get yourselves listed, but Google is the place, okay? Now, the other thing we want to understand are devices that people use to access search and mobile devices. 63% of all searches are done on mobile, okay? That is a very important thing. That means that everything that you create in an online world, although it might be designed on your desktop or your laptop, 63% of everyone out there is going to be looking at the mobile version of what you do. So you want to make sure that it looks good on mobile. And I can't stress that enough, how people will be turned off and never come back to you ever again if they visit a page they can't read or is all wonky because they're looking at it on their phone and it's not user friendly. So it's very important that you take that into consideration. 46% of all product searches begin on Google. So over half of people searching for products start on Google. That means that, the other big brands, because they're so big, may be getting someone to go directly to their site, like eBay or Nike or whatever. But most, if not, well, half of all searches start on Google first. So if you have a product or a service that you sell like a product, they're going to go there first to look for you before they go anywhere else. At least 50% of the time. And that's a big number, so you don't want to ignore that. And then the average number of searches per person per day is 3. There is nowhere else in the world that you can get the average number of visits to a place being more than one usually, right? Google is a verb now. It's ubiquitous. It's everyone uses it, and for good or bad, until there's another competitor out there, it's what we have to deal with. And I think it's very, very important that we don't forget that. Okay, as much as we want to cover all the bases, and we may not like the fact that Google makes all their money on ads and they control the space and they do all these crazy things, it's the best place for our customers to find us. Facebook is big, yes, but only the Facebook users see you. LinkedIn is big, but only the professionals that are on LinkedIn or the people on LinkedIn are seeing you. The larger majority of people are in search on Google for everything they do on the internet. Okay? So we want to make sure that we don't disregard it just because we don't like it, if you know what I mean. So, anyway. Okay, so let's talk about, we've looked at what the search engines are and their reach. Now let's get why it matters for you and your business, okay? There are three big benefits for search engines can bring to your business. The first one is can showcase ideas, your blog, your podcast, your video series, your courses, anything that makes you unique and is what your message is, what your branding is, what everything about you and your company. You can showcase all of it in one place under one address that is linkable from these search engines to you. So, um, Facebook, for example, you have a profile on Facebook that people visit from your posts, that they can find you and they link to you, but it's not guaranteed that they see everything about you. It's limited what they see, right? If you get someone to go to your website from a search engine, they have access to the whole portfolio of what you do and access, okay? We don't always know where our customers are going to come from, right? We know that people start in different places. They may not all go to Google, but 50% of them might, Um, the other parts might come from other places, so you still would have information there. But if you had to pick a place to focus first, the search engines might be your better place because a larger majority of people go there, okay? And they could see your full portfolio. So you want to make sure that you reuse content on your website, or content on your website you index it and make sure there's text there so that Google takes it and puts it into their database so it can analyze it when someone searches for something and serve you up as a search result. Now, we're going to go in the future into a lot more detail about this, so I'm not going to go too far into it right now and put you all to sleep. But there are some things that you have to do to make sure it gets picked up by Google, etc. So that's the first big benefit, is you get to showcase you, your portfolio, everything about you, what you think, what you believe, who you are, what makes you special. So for every one of us as entrepreneurs or business owners, there are thousands more just like us out there. So what is going to make someone pick you? It's going to be your unique messages, the way you do business, the way you present yourself online, your experiences, your video series, your podcast, your books, whatever it is you have. That's going to make you different and stand out from the rest of the pack. So if you treat your website as the home base for all of your information and showcase everything well, then you are going to benefit the most from it. Now, the second idea is information. We want to, go back. We want to think about providing a 24/7 source of information about you and your business. So people are not online all at the same time anymore, or during business hours, or when you're going to answer the phone or a text or an email, right? They are out there all different times, and they're all across the globe. If you have people in Canada or Texas or Florida or California or Australia or London, they're viewing at the right time that's right for them, okay? You can't always be present to be the face of your company. So your website is the face of you and your business and your portfolio. So it's a showcase for a lot of the things you do, but it is also a source of operating information, customer support information, um, how to reach out to you information, right? So, yes, you showcase all your products, your ideas, your services, how you do business, who you are, right? But you also serve them 24/7. So, you want to think about that aspect of it as well. If they put in a search, how do I get a refund, or how do I contact such and such? You want them to go to your contact page on your website. You want them to get that answer on your website in the frequently asked questions. Okay? So you want to make sure you address the information needs of your potential customers and clients and your current ones. Okay? The third way that search engines can serve you and your website serves you is it's a 24/7 center for commerce. So when your clients are ready to do business at whatever hour that is, anything you have that they can transact with you, whether it's a book, whether it's a course, whether it's a workshop, or recordings of something you've done, or a video series, or something you're an affiliate for, like a software that you use and you recommend, all that needs to be included on your website, and it will also be indexed in search engines, right? So if someone's looking for a course on X, Y, and Z, you want to make sure your course is presented and purchasable on your website, because that person who's searching could be in the moment ready to buy. And you don't want to lose that opportunity. If it's 2 a.m. and they're ready to answer a question and get a solution and they find your course, they better be able to do the transaction, or they're going to walk away and go to somebody else and never come back. So you want that 24/7 operation up there to whatever level you want it to be. It doesn't mean everything you do has to be available to transact off hours. But if you do have things that add to your bottom line, that bring in revenue, that can be standalone products or services that are packaged, productized, or whatever you want to call it, then you want to make sure that there is a smooth, easy process for them to transact and do business with you and to interact with your business when you're not physically present or available to speak to. And I can't stress this enough. I know I don't shop online when I used to. I used to do things during the day when I went out to shop, and the pandemic did a lot of changes to that too, because a lot of things I order online now that I used to actually physically go to Target or go to the grocery store or go to whatever store for. And now Amazon, or you go to Target and you shop online. And I don't do that during business hours. I do that after hours. And so I don't want to interrupt my day because I'm working from home. So I want to make sure that I keep my personal stuff separate, and I do it after. And I think there are a lot of people that are doing that too. So you want to make sure you take every opportunity to make sure they can satisfy what they need when they're ready, not when you're ready to give it to them. So in the old days, you could be presenting at an event and you're speaking on a stage, and at the end of your talk you could offer your course or your book or your series as a product at the end and sell from the stage and sell to the room, and that could be a big source of income for you, and it still can as things are opening back up. But because we haven't had that for a number of years, people are looking online for those solutions. They're looking for the online answers to their business problems, or their questions that they're learning new skills and new tasks and how to do business and in-depth understandings of things. So they're looking for it online, and you want to make sure you are in the fold with everybody else, or standing out and rising above them. So I can't stress this enough. These benefits can come to you from search engine inclusion. So that's why it matters. Now, the other thing we want to revisit is take a moment why we share our content more with our potential audience, right? We're educating them too. So there's a part of your customer base or your potential customer base that doesn't know a lot about you. And in order for them to transact with you online, they have to get to know you, they have to get to like you and trust you. And that's kind of one of the big formulas: know, like, and trust. Okay. So search engines provide you that opportunity to give connections to your content that can support that effort, right? So if you have a blog that talks about how you do business, what you believe in, um, an example of a case study, or something you've written or something you've attended, or a review or a testimonial from someone on your website, all those things are going to give people social proof and give them examples of your work and how you operate. And that's going to help and benefit to make them feel more comfortable to work with you and to take action. Okay. Now, when we get to our website, right, our customers, potential customers and clients, they're on a journey with us or anyone when they're looking for a solution. And if they're going to Google to ask a question because they're looking for a solution, okay, you want to make sure you address them where they are with your website content. So I look at the customer journey, which is a marketing kind of thing people talk about, but it's true. Is if you think about it and you're not sure what something is, you're not ready to buy it, right? If you've already bought it, you're not looking to buy it. You're looking to answer questions about it, right? If you've done your research and you're pretty sure you know what you want to do, well, maybe you have to compare suppliers first before you actually buy. Okay, so there's a journey. There's the research phase in the very beginning when someone starts to realize they have a question and they're trying to form an answer and find a solution. Then there's the stage where, okay, they have a handle on the problem, they have a handle on their issue and what they want to do about it. Now they have to figure out who to go to get an answer to it, right? That's the compare. And then after they make comparisons and they get to know each of the players in the space, then they're going to move to action. Then they may buy, or they may reach out, or they might send a connection request or whatever. And then after they purchase or after they act, they're going to need support. They need feedback. They need answers to other questions. They need customer support links to get to people. So if you look at that platform and you make sure that your website addresses all these different phases for your potential customers and your current ones, then the search engines will index that information and put it in their database. So when someone asks the question, the specific question about you or about something you do that's unique for you, then they have the availability of your information to serve that up as a result to someone. So do you see what's happening here? If you're not included in the database, then you're excluded from potentially being the solution to someone's issues, someone's questions, someone's comparisons, or their support. So as much as your website address that you tell people what it is on your business card or wherever you reach out to people or you tell them on your social media profiles, you want it to be included in Google because that's where a majority or a ton of people are going, and you want to be included in that information. So I think that as much as people don't want to pay a lot of attention to search and search engine optimization, and they think it's this technical thing and it's all this stuff, it's just the bottom line of just getting you included with everyone else out there on the internet so that you get the benefit of the exposure. And search matters to your clients in the true bottom line. They're using it, so you need to make sure you're included and you're there for them so that you can serve them the best by being included there. Because if you're a service, if you're a business an entrepreneur that believes in serving people and giving the best to help people along in their journey and with their business and with their life, well, you can't serve them the best if you aren't included where they're going to look for people, right? So think of it that way. So thank you so much. I have a free gift for you today. It's the 5 free online tools that will change your business. It's a small little report, and you can go to mmediagroupllc.com/free-gift and download a copy of it there. Um, and I also am including today the online profile organizer. So if you have social media and other accounts that you're trying to keep in sync, this document is going to help you keep track of what information you have on which platform. A lot of people, I offered it at a Win-Win Women thing, and everyone seemed to love it, so I'm including it here for the show. And I hope you'll get some value out of it. So when you sign up at mmediagroupllc.com/free-gift, you will get an email in return with links to 2 documents so that you can download and enjoy them. So now while I have you, I have a minute or so left. I just want to tell you a little bit about what I do. I help people with their marketing and their technology, and specifically, I try to work on their websites with them so that they have a connected site that is indexable by Google that brings them the most value and benefit. So, if you have any issues or you have any questions about what I do or my services, please reach out. Go to my website at mmediagroupllc.com and go to the contact page or send me an email. There's an email on the front page there. I'd love to speak with you or answer any questions you have, so please reach out when you get a minute. Thank you. Okay, so I am so glad you could join me today for this episode of Marketing Matters. I know how precious your time is, and my hope is you came away from this with some nuggets of information that you could apply to your business. My aim is to provide useful info for you so that you can have a thriving business, amazing relationships with your customers and clients. As always, if you have any questions, drop a post on my show Facebook page, Marketing Matters Show, or as I said, go to my website at mmediagroupllc.com and leave me a message on my contact page or reach out via email. And join me here next week for my next episode where we'll dive into more marketing and technology topics that matter for you. Thanks so much for your time.